When the world thinks of Jamaica, one word usually comes to mind: joy. Beaches, sunshine all year round, good music, and a laid-back lifestyle. Jamaica has become a global symbol of freedom and culture, with reggae echoing from radios, concerts, and parties across the planet. It's seen as an exotic destination, attracting millions of visitors every year. From luxury resorts and vibrant cruise ships to beachfront hotels and all-night parties, that's the Jamaica most people know. It's also embedded in pop culture. Images of Bob Marley, the Rastafarian movement, and reggae's timeless messages of peace and resistance. Religious and cultural rituals blending spirituality, music, and nature. Souvenirs sold on every corner. T-shirts, flags, keychains in green, yellow, and red, symbols of a nation that conquered the world with its rhythm. But is that the whole story? As the narration slows down, so does the music. The colorful, cheerful scenes fade, replaced by empty streets, narrow alleys, and simple wooden houses. A different Jamaica comes into focus, one that doesn't show up in travel brochures. Outside the postcards, there is a Jamaica the world has chosen not to see. A country where, just a few miles from the luxury hotels, entire families share what little they have in makeshift shacks. Homes with no plumbing, no clean water, no steady electricity. Where the infrastructure is almost non-existent, and the sense of abandonment overwhelming. In these hidden corners of Jamaica, life isn't about relaxing by the beach. It's about survival. Crowded favelas made of wood, zinc, and raw bricks. Dirt roads that turn to mud every time it rains. No running water. Open sewage or, in some cases, no sewage at all. In many of these areas, violence and unemployment go hand in hand. The state doesn't reach here. With few or no schools, young people grow up without clear opportunities. For many, crime becomes the only path available. While tourists sip cocktails at luxury resorts, thousands of families live off improvisation. Streets that TV cameras never show. Neighborhoods tourists never walk through. The social gap between wealth and extreme poverty is visible and shocking, even though the distance is often just a few blocks. This is the Jamaica that dances because it's learned to resist. The Jamaica that sings because it needs to survive. The same land where tourism generates millions of dollars, but where children grow up without schools or a future. Further details. In these neighborhoods, houses aren't made with concrete or strong materials. They're built with whatever people can find: pieces of wood, tin roofs, and unpainted bricks. The streets are muddy. Electricity often fails. Clean water is a luxury few can afford. Sanitation is rare, if it exists at all. And as the government turns a blind eye, violence takes over. Gangs, drugs, and crime fill the void left by the absence of structure and opportunity. Young people grow up with no clear path, caught between poverty and crime. Framing the contrast. The contrast is impossible to ignore. On one side, tourists enjoying beach parties, luxurious pools, guided tours. On the other, families sharing a single room, cooking with firewood, using makeshift toilets, if they have any. The same sun that warms tourists burns down on mothers carrying water from far away, children walking barefoot through mud, and grandparents with no health care. The Jamaica that dances because it's learned to resist. Behind the music, there is silence. Behind the sun, there is shadow. In the same land where tourism brings in millions, children grow up with no school and no horizon. Expanding on violence and unemployment. In these communities, work is rare. When it exists, it's informal, selling small items on the street, doing odd jobs, cleaning cars. School systems often fail these neighborhoods. Classrooms are overcrowded, underfunded, or simply unavailable. With no guidance and no real options, many teenagers see crime as their only way forward. The government's presence is almost invisible in these areas. Basic services like garbage collection, street maintenance, and policing are inconsistent or absent altogether. This lack of attention creates a cycle. Poverty leads to crime, crime deepens poverty, and so on. Real-life examples. It's not hard to find scenes like these. A mother boiling rainwater because there's no other source to drink from. Children playing in alleyways filled with trash. Young men sitting on corners, waiting for something to happen, anything. Homes with no glass windows, no locked doors, because there's nothing inside worth stealing. While the world sings along to reggae songs about freedom, thousands of Jamaicans remain trapped in this cycle. It's a country famous for its rhythm, but where survival, not music, dictates the tempo for many. This is the side of Jamaica the postcards don't show. The side tourists don't see. But it's as real as the sun, as permanent as the ocean, and as painful as a silent cry. And this reality doesn't just affect individuals. It defines entire generations. Children growing up in these forgotten corners of Jamaica aren't just missing out on opportunities. They're missing out on childhood itself. Many start working as soon as they can walk, helping their parents sell fruits, fix things, or simply collecting scrap metal. Others wander the streets with no supervision, exposed to dangers the world prefers not to see. In these places, there is no after-school activity, no playgrounds, no libraries. For many, there's no school at all. Books are a rare sight. Electricity comes and goes. Access to the internet. It's a luxury reserved for wealthier areas. And then there's the question of safety. In neighborhoods where the police barely patrol, people often rely on their own rules, on their own protection. Conflicts erupt easily. Sometimes over something as small as a stolen piece of bread, sometimes over larger criminal disputes. Gunshots echo in the night, while most of the world sleeps peacefully. Meanwhile, the country's official image, the one broadcast to tourists, remains spotless. Billboards show sun-kissed beaches, happy couples, luxury hotel rooms overlooking turquoise water. Cruise ships dock every week, pouring more visitors into Kingston, Montego Bay, Negril. And yet, a few blocks away, mothers sit outside their homes cooking over open fires, hoping their children make it home safely. How did things reach this point? How can a country known for its rich culture and vibrant music leave so many behind? The truth is, Jamaica's dual reality is the result of choices. Economic choices. Political choices. A focus on external image rather than internal well-being. While millions flow in from tourism, only a small elite truly benefits. The majority of Jamaicans are left to improvise their lives day by day, facing each sunrise with no guarantees of what the night will bring. For these families, survival isn't just a struggle, it's a way of life. And behind every tourist snapshot, every beach party, there's a silent story waiting to be told. Because Jamaica isn't just rhythm and sun. It's also shadow and silence. A place where two realities coexist, one that shines for the world, and one that fights to stay alive.